Crochet, Am I the Asshole? Insufferable Boyfriend Edition. I am already riled up. I was trying to put my mic on this, but then I couldn't figure out how to. I just wanted to show off my light stick, but that's not happening. So I don't, it literally has nothing to do with anything. I lied last time when I said that this would be the last one because I dug a little deeper and I found a lot more. These are, you'll see for yourself. I'm mad. First one is, am I the asshole for calling my boyfriend a hypocrite when he told me to stop spending so much time on my crocheting? Almost all of these, I think all of these are significant others having an issue with them having a hobby. Or like wanting to control their hobby. It's really weird and I don't get it and it makes me so freaking mad, especially this one. Here we go. Yes, I know this sounds ridiculous, but he's fuming with me at the moment and I can't get through to him. Okay, well, I crochet a lot, like a lot. It's my hobby and helps me deal with my really bad anxiety. My partner doesn't like that I do it so much. Just to set some background, I work full time and when I'm not working, I make sure to clean up our house. I make some dinner, ensure the dog has had a walk, just general household upkeep before I sit down on the sofa and crochet after working full time. When my boyfriend came up to me today and said that he's unhappy with how much time I spend crocheting, I'm not gonna lie, I laughed a little bit and basically said, you spend more time playing games in one day than I do crocheting in a week. He really did not like that answer. I told him that before I crochet, I ensure that all my household duties are done, that dinner is made, etc. My boyfriend works part-time from home, and when he's not working, he's playing games. Just getting him to clean the bathroom once a week is a task in itself. He's fuming with me now and saying that I'm attacking him and asking if I just want him to stop doing what makes him happy. I said that's not the case at all. Then he said that I'm just angry with him because he gets to work from home. Also, not the case. I work in a brain rehabilitation unit. I've always enjoyed my job, and obviously it's not a career where I can just work from home. I called him a hypocrite with how he's trying to tell me off for doing something too much when he himself can't even get basic chores done. Now he's got the huff with me, and anytime I try to make a conversation, he cusses me out. LOL. Am I the asshole for calling him a hypocrite? And there's an update-ish. There's an edit. I was asked to include this comment to why he came up to me in the first place about this. I probably should have mentioned his reasoning. The reason I mentioned the chores is because that's what he told me I should be doing more of. He said instead of spending time on the crocheting, I could be using that time to do more impactful and useful things. Like I could be cleaning up more or doing more laundry or finding more fun dishes to make. It says in brackets, I'm Polish and predominantly cook Polish food. He's never been very on board with that. What the freak? What the freak? Why are you with him? 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 Ah! He works part-time. She works full-time and does all the household chores. And he's mad that she's spending her probably very little free time after working full-time and making you meals, being your mother. She's spending her very little free time crocheting, and that's upsetting to you because she should be cleaning up after you even more while you play your video games. This makes so much sense to me. This makes so much sense to me. Oh, what is this? Oh, see, this is why I have a mess of yarn on my floor, because it's comfortable whenever I have my little freakouts. I'm just trying to wipe this from my brain, because what the freak was that? You can't even clean a washroom, and you expect, like, at this point, you're not treating her as a human. She is not a maid. Like, you're literally like what is going on in your mind? You're like, why are you crocheting? Why do you have hobbies? You're on the clock. You should be working for me. I'm not. And it says boyfriend, like they're not even married. I know there's a lot of dudes who are like old fashioned. I've heard of dudes like literally just flipping the script. Like once they're like all whatever when they're boyfriend, girlfriend, and then they get married, and then all of a sudden the boyfriend just like stops doing everything and expects the wife to make him dinner and like clean up the house and everything. And she's like, you're joking, right? Like, what's going on? And he's like, no, we're married now. This is how it works. It makes me fear for the future of humanity. She says, am I the asshole for calling him a hypocrite? Dude, I would have called him so many things. So many other things. Also, the fact that you're making him all this food, Polish food, which is delicious, pierogies, right? I'm thinking. And he doesn't like that. I read through the comments. Honestly, she says that she doesn't mind doing like the household chores and cooking. She says because she's used to it, which I don't think is a very good reason to be okay with that, because what the freak? What the freak? And the saying that he's like she's attacking him by just turning around his own stupidity on himself is ridiculous. And complaining that like, oh, she just wants him to stop doing what makes him happy. It's like, yeah, you dumb. That's exactly what you said to her. That's exactly, you told her to stop doing what makes her happy and do more of what makes you happy. Having a slave. Like, what the freak? I'm so confused. You work part-time! You work part-time! We're gonna move on, because I can't handle this. But does it get better? No, it does not. I think this one's worse. Because this dude's scary. Run. But they're married, so it's worse. Am I the asshole for yelling at my wife for starting a hobby without me? Do I need to read the rest? What are you talking about? Posting on throwaway, as I'm not sure if she will see this. A couple of days ago, I, 28, male. You're too old for this. My wife. Any age is too old for this. Sorry. A couple of days ago, I, 28 male, and my wife, 26 female, went to a craft store. She found a good deal on large fluffy yarn. She had always said how she wants to make a big fluffy crochet blanket, so she got a few bundles. I learned how to crochet from my grandma years ago. My wife has seen me crochet before and knows I know how to do it. She has suggested that I could teach her how to crochet after I'm off work this weekend. She works a different shift than I do, so our schedules line up sporadically. I was more than happy to teach her. Today, I got home from work and found the packaging in the trash. She worked a later shift today, so I didn't bother her while she slept. Because I'm a good person. Sorry. She worked a later shift today, so I didn't bother her while she slept. When she woke up, I saw that she had already started without me. She had been bored and decided she would try on her own? On her own? She said she messed it up after the first few rows and will need to start again. I was very upset and angry. I'm sorry, I can't read this seriously. I keep crocheting because my grandma has since passed away, so I feel close to her every time I'm working on a project. This cut deep emotionally. I feel betrayed, and not like I was valued in this. She tried to downplay that it was a big deal and that I was overreacting because I messed it up, so I'll have to start over again. And you can show me how to do it when I start over again. I was really looking forward to spending time with her and showing her a skill I learned from family. I'm confused if I did overreact, and it's not as big as I'm making it out to be. Any advice is very much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to read. And then this is just extra information. My wife started crocheting from a video online after she asked me to show her how to do it. Or no, what is this? What does TLDR mean? That's just like an alternate title, I guess. I got ever so rudely distracted by children, so now I have to reread this all over again and be even more mad. Go through it all over again. Oh my gosh, you are the asshole. You are so the asshole. You are forever going to ever be the asshole. What the freak? We get it. You know how to crochet. We get it. Your grandmother died. We get it. What the freak? If it was about the hobby, like you guys can crochet together then. You can crochet. She can crochet. You can crochet together. You can still spend time together. You said yourself your schedules don't line up. You want her to wait for you for hours while doing nothing just so you can like teach her probably like 50 bajillion times worse than a YouTube tutorial could teach her. No, 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 sir. No, sir. And also, why are you that angry? And do you want a pat on the back for not waking her up just to yell at her? The freak? And plus, it wasn't like a huge thing. It says a couple days ago you went to the craft store, and then she was probably mentioned in passing. She's like, "Oh yeah, you can show me how to do it." And he's like, "Yes." And this became like his whole life focus or something. The way he's reacting, it must be like his whole entire life focus. My goodness. What the actual heck? Why are you confused if you overreacted? Why do people yell at people over crochet? Calm down, calm down. All right, we're moving on. And again, it doesn't get any better. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to stop making excuses and clean her apartment? So my 22-year-old male girlfriend, 19 female, crochets quite a lot, and I've encouraged her to start like an Etsy shop or something, but she hasn't. The freak. The issue is that she spends all this money on yarn, even though she always buys the really cheap big rolls at Michael's. It adds up. Instead of making something that someone would actually want as a gift, like a dishcloth, blanket, sweater, etc., she chooses to make these dumb little stuffed animals. The other day, she finished crocheting a 13-foot long dash hound. A 13 foot. Are you sure? The other day, she finished crocheting a 13-foot long dash hound. So she has these baskets and shelves of these stuffed animals that she refuses to give away or sell, but also hardly uses after they're done. The other day, she was hanging around her apartment and it was a mess. She claims her roommate made the mess, but I guess she was just hanging out in it. Instead of cleaning it, she's crocheting. When I brought up the mess, she said her roommate would clean it up and proceeded to pull this binder she had full of Polaroids of her finished projects and each of their names and was talking about them. I couldn't stand it and I snapped. I told her she needed to focus on cleaning up and that I didn't care about her toys. She said her roommate would, and I told her that she was acting like a child. Let that sink in for a little bit. By the time I left, she was crying. It's been almost a week now, and she isn't answering my messages. Am I the asshole here for wanting her to live in a clean apartment? Dude, what the freak? What the freak? She's a literal teenager. She's 19 years old. And you want her to clean... Why do you want her to clean up her roommate's mess? She told you it's the roommate. This is way more about control than anything. Because what the freak? What the freak? You're getting mad at her for not cleaning up her roommate's mess? What the freak? She's being all adorable and shit and bringing out this album full of cute little Polaroids of her cute little amigurumi creations. And probably excitedly wanting to show them to you and talk to you. And you're like being the worst person in the entire world. What the freak? What the freak? I am so... Wow. Love to break it to you, buddy. She's not gonna message you back ever. You're done. You're done. My goodness. Are you freaking kidding me? 13 foot long? Are you sure about that? You sure about that? And hardly uses after she's done making them? What is she supposed to do with her stuffed animals? Play with them? You're already calling her a child for not cleaning up her roommate's mess. If she is a child, if she is acting like a child, what does that make you? What does that make you? I'm so done. Am I the asshole for wanting her to live in a clean apartment? What does your apartment look like, buddy? Yes, you're the asshole. It's obviously not about the apartment. What the freak is wrong with you? Control yourself. And if you thought that one was bad, let's move on to the next one. We're having so much fun here. If you're having fun, give this video a thumbs up. So much fun we're having. We're having so much fun. Am I the asshole for ruining my girlfriend's blanket that she worked on for 6 months? You guys are gonna have to, I can't decide. You guys are gonna have to decide which one of these are the worst. Which one of these would you forgive? You have to pick one. You have to pick one. You can't say none of them. You have to pick one. Which is the most forgivable of these unforgivable, horrible people? Am I the asshole for ruining my girlfriend's blanket that she worked on for 6 months? Let me think about that. thanks. Am I the asshole for ruining my girlfriend's blanket she made by hand? I know the title may sound bad, but hear me out. Me, 33, and my girlfriend, 21, met online 3 years ago and moved. Ew. That age gap. We met online 3 years ago and moved in about a year ago, and it has been calm and amazing living with her. I genuinely love her so much, and I want to get married someday. But recently, she hasn't been giving me much attention and has been knitting a lot, a hobby of hers. She really enjoys it, but it just makes me feel lonely. Aww. Because she doesn't spend as much time with me as she did in the past. She knitted a blanket over the past half a year, and she just got done with it. So I thought she would take a break and spend more time with me, but she just went into making another blanket. When I asked her why she couldn't stop for a few weeks and spend time with me, but she told me that we spend enough time together. And this is just a hobby she enjoys, but she is sorry and will try to spend a bit more time with me. She did start spending a bit more time with me, but not a lot. And it just really frustrated me. So after I came home from work and seen her knitting in her chair in front of her room, she just got off of work an hour before, I just blew a fuse and yelled at her for never spending enough time with me, and she left to stay at a friend's house for the night. I regret yelling at her because she has been abused in the past, and yelling is a trigger. But I was just so frustrated. But what I did next, I think, was worse. I took the blanket that she made that was laying on our bed, and I cut it, and I threw it away. When she came home the following day, I apologized for yelling at her and said it would never happen again. And we talked for a bit and come to an agreement that we both need to spend more time with each other, and we can't keep getting caught up in our work and hobbies. So I thought after that it was going to be fine and we wouldn't talk about this again. But a few minutes later, she started dinner, and when she went to throw away the onion skins, she saw her blanket in the trash, and when she pulled it out, she was furious and ran into the room where I was watching TV and screamed about how inconsiderate of her I am and how I am an awful boyfriend and this and that. After a bit of screaming, I tried to apologize, but she said, "Fuck off, you old and packed a small bag and went to her mother's. She is not answering any of my calls and texts, and I am getting really worried. What do I do? And am I the asshole? Why are you asking us? There's an update. After going through and reading everyone's comments, I now realize that I was the asshole. I ruined a relationship with a perfect girl that deserves far better than me, as many of you have called it. And as many of you have called it, she has left me, and I hope she finds someone that will treat her better than I have. She deserves the world, and I do love her, but I know that I need to get help, and that's what I'll be doing. Thank you so much, Reddit community. Your feedback has helped me see how much of a dick I really am. Oh my gosh. Hands up if you think that he got help. But it's good to know that he cares about what the Reddit community thinks about him. This is crazy. I love her, though. The fact that she didn't take it, like, what the freak? Actually, she ignored the first red flag and she came back. But I guess, like, they talked through it. It was whatever. I don't know. Guys are so controlling. What the freak is with people not wanting people to have... And 33? I love her for calling him an old... Plus, how immature are you? You're 33. You're in your 30s. I'm not even 30 yet. I'm 50 bajillion times more mature than you, sir. Why does any of these people have to ask if they're an asshole? It's crazy how so many men can just, like, skate through life being an absolute dick. They're not even like cognizant of how ridiculous they are. Plus, is it normal for your girlfriend to make dinner while you watch TV? Why the freak would you cut up a blanket and then think that you can get away with it? And then you have it in just the trash, like you didn't even throw it all the way out. You could have had if you were smart and disposed of the evidence, you could have maybe gone a few more weeks in this relationship. You could have gotten a few more weeks, my guy. But improper disposal of evidence. Why would you leave that in the trash can? Like it wasn't a big deal. Like you didn't know that would just start things again. And then you didn't own up to the fact that was a horrible thing to do. You're just like, oh, I thought we already talked about this. I thought we were done with this nonsense. What the freak? What the freak? You can spend time with her while she's knitting. That's what I don't understand. All these people, spend time with them while they are doing their hobby. Do your hobby next to them doing their hobby. You can be like, hey, I'm gonna game. Because apparently that's the only hobby the guys have. What the freak? And then they're like, girls don't have hobbies. The freak? You can be like, hey, can you sit next to me while I game? And you can knit. And we'll like, I would be like, no, I'm watching my K-drama. But like, still, he didn't even try. I think I have another one. Yes, I might have more. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have 2 more. I don't want to read 2 more. I don't want to read any more. I'm so done. I hope my battery dies before and then I get to take another break. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend, 26 male, the same thing he keeps asking me, 22 female, about my hobby? I want to preface this by saying that my boyfriend is a great guy and we rarely have disagreements. This is just one thing that really irks me. I have some uncommon hobbies for my age group, the current issue being Sudoku. This actually isn't really about crochet. I used to crochet and knit, but the price of yarn is ridiculous right now. My boyfriend has raised concerns about why don't I spend my time reading books instead of playing Sudoku on my phone. I counter that with, why does he play video games instead of reading? Which he can't really answer and says I shouldn't turn the question back on him. I really don't see the difference. It's something I enjoy and use as a stress relief, just like he plays video games. Also, I don't have anything against him gaming. I just find his different view of my hobby compared to his a bit unfair. And it's not like we're missing out on quality time due to my crippling Sudoku addiction. We watch shows together and train together several times a week. And then the TLDR, I don't know what that means. Someone tell me what that means. It's like an alternative title. Boyfriend thinks I should read books instead of playing Sudoku. I ask why he doesn't read books instead of playing video games. He says unfair. Am I the asshole for asking him why he doesn't read instead of playing video games every time he asks me why I don't read instead of playing Sudoku? Update. I bought a book of Sudoku puzzles. LMAO. Maybe someone was like complaining or saying like maybe the screen time's not good. Maybe get a book. And she was like, sounds good. Done. Oh my gosh. What a child. Says you shouldn't flip his question around on him. Then don't freaking be a hypocrite and then it won't be possible for someone to flip your stupid questions around on your stupid face. Wow. Also, uncommon hobbies for your age group? Bestie, look at us. Okay, I guess you're younger than me, whatever. Sudoku is brain training. What the freak is your video games? Also, you have not a single leg to stand on. It'd be different if you were reading all the time. It'd be different if your hobby that you're not doing instead of reading is like, I don't know, painting, putting together jigsaw puzzles. Great hobby, by the way. But you're playing video games. That's worse than playing Sudoku. I love saying Sudoku. Why does it sound weird when I say it? Sudoku. Why do I say it like that? Sudoku. I can't not say it like that. I don't know what's going on. You are not the asshole. That is exactly what you should have done. That was bravo, my friend. There's literally no other thing you can say to that because what the actual frick is he talking about? My throat is getting sore. I should stop talking. But will I? No, because there is more infuriating, beautiful stories to read. Am I the asshole for knitting when I watch movies or TV shows? My boyfriend thinks so. I like that title. We sat down to watch a movie and I pulled out my knitting. About 20 minutes into the movie, my boyfriend paused it and asked me to stop. I asked him if it was too noisy. I said I could switch to a different kind of needle so it wouldn't click. He said no, but said it was rude to knit when we are supposed to be watching a movie together and to please pay attention. I said that I am, but I just like to have something to do with my hands while I'm watching something. He said he would prefer I pay full attention and please put down the knitting. I said no, I'd really prefer to be able to knit, that I am not distracted. I'm fully capable of doing both at once and that I do it all the time. He got very annoyed and told me I was being rude and disrespectful, and if I didn't put it away, we would stop watching. Okay, Mom. I had a feeling this would ruin the whole weekend, so I just put down my knitting. He said thank you, and we continued. Halfway into the movie, he picked up his phone and started doing something. I paused the movie and asked him why it was okay for him to do that, but I couldn't knit. He got annoyed and slammed down his phone. We finished the movie and he stomped off to play video games. Video games! I turned on the TV show I've been going through. Awkward, and continued knitting. The next day, he told me that he thinks it's rude to knit through a movie and through TV shows, and then it makes me come across like I have ADHD. What do you mean? And I am a toddler who can't sit still. I explained that I've always done things like this. When I was a kid, my parents would draw or color with us while we watched TV. When I learned to sew, I'd watch Arthur and sew. How young were you? When I picked up knitting, I would watch TV or read or even take walks with my mom if it was portable. I always feel better if I'm making something instead of just sitting there. But I also listen to music and run or listen to audiobooks while I'm at work. I love multitasking. I love media. I love to be productive, and I love being creative. Perfect, right? He told me it was rude and that when we do something to please put 100% of my focus into it instead of paying attention to my knitting. I told him that if that's really an expectation he has, I don't think this relationship would have a long future because I'm not going to just sit there and watch TV and do nothing else. I explained that I find it very boring and lazy to just sit there and watch TV, and while I get how other people find joy in just doing nothing, I don't. For the record, I asked if he felt like I was ignoring him or not paying enough attention to him, etc., but he just said that isn't the issue, just that I should be more respectful when I am watching TV or movies because the creator works very hard and it's insulting that I won't pay full attention. So am I the asshole here? Holy goodness. Disrespectful to the people who made the movie? He's talking like movies and TV shows are sacred, that they are holy works of art. This is your living room, not a temple. My goodness. It'd be different if you're going to a movie theater and you're like, okay, this is kind of weird. I feel kind of awkward. You're bringing attention to us. Even that would be rude, though. The freak, you're embarrassed of your girlfriend. Anyway, I'm making up scenarios. But why does it matter? He says it's not because it's distracting him. He says it's not because he feels like she's like spending less quality time with him. It's about the movie, okay? It's about the people who made the movie. How would they feel if they knew that all the while their movie was playing, she was knitting? Hopefully the people who made the movies that she has watched don't find out that she was knitting during the movie. Like, wow, that would devastate them probably. This guy is doing God's work. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving. Who is the most annoying? Leave it in the comments. And remember, you have to pick... Wait, let's change it. You have to pick someone to be your boyfriend. They have to be your boyfriend, okay? They have to be your partner. Just pick one of them. You have to pick one of them. Or he has 7 years of bad luck. Ha, I did it. I did it to you. I'm sorry. I want to know. Wait, does that mean I have to pick? Who was the least worst? You know what? I take that back. You don't have to pick because I don't want to pick. Haha. Goodbye.